migration is perceived to be a characteristic of our time. So again, it is interesting to think about when and how particular movements of people come to be seen as defining the age that we live in. Because we have such diverse research and teaching staff, our unique contribution is to enable students to explore tensions between different disciplines, tensions between policy-oriented work and academic work, tensions between quantitative and qualitative research methods.
Oxford is just a great place. It is very appealing because a lot of the scholars in migration research whose papers I've been reading throughout my undergraduate, I now get to meet them and get to learn from them. And that is a great opportunity.
We tend to think that migration is something that happens elsewhere. And yet, of course, if we look around Oxford, we can see that it's right here. There are, of course, different categories of classifications of migration that most of us are familiar with. We do tend to question those distinctions, which we do work with, but then we also have to realize how they are made, remade, or how movement could be classified differently. Some of us focus directly on policy-oriented questions, while others take more critical distance and perhaps consider whether the questions asked by policymakers are the right questions to be asking. People come with very different aspirations. Some wish to obtain skills that will prepare them for a job market, while others come with sort of more critical dispositions, which are not necessarily mutually exclusive aspirations, but nevertheless they're different. And so we try to bring these different perspectives together so that they can learn from each other.
My undergraduate was in political science, and although I also focused on migration there, it was mostly state-centric. Coming here, that thinking was challenged, because especially through the anthropology lens and the other interdisciplinary lenses, I could move a little bit away from those assumptions that I had taken for granted in political science.
Before, I came from a very government-oriented, policy-driven background. Students are introduced to things like anthropological studies of migration, ethnographic studies of migration, and that really, I think, enriched my learning.
But regardless whether students wish to pursue an academic career or to become practitioners, the skills that they obtain while on this course are very useful for their working lives and research lives.
And so I think this course opens everyone's minds, whether you have a job or whether you don't have a job to go to. It expands people's options.